Welcome, listeners, to tonight's episode of Echoes in the Dark, where we bring you tales that blur the line between reality and the unknown. I'm your host, Leah Fernandez, and tonight we have something that will make you question what you see in the corner of your eye, what you hear in the silence, and what you believe to be real. Let us begin. Imagine this. You're in a late-night train, the world outside a blur of fog and darkness. Your only company is the hum of the tracks beneath you and the occasional flicker of lights overhead. You receive a message on your phone from a number you don't recognize. At first, it seems like a prank, until it becomes something much more unsettling. This is The Unseen Passenger, a story where the supernatural intertwines with the deepest layers of the mind. Turn off the lights, settle in your seat, and listen closely as we take you on a journey where shadows aren't just shadows, and a stranger on the train might be closer than you think. This is The Unseen Passenger by Leah Fernandez. Now let's begin. The train rattled down the track, cutting through the foggy night like a blade through smoke. Allison sat by the window, staring at the blurred landscape. Her mind was heavy, clouded by exhaustion and the unsettling echo of the text she had just received. Is the seat next to you empty? She glanced at the empty seat beside her, then at her phone again. The message had come from an unknown number. No one knew she was on this train, heading home late after an endless day at work. She hesitated before replying, "Who is this?" Seconds later, the response came, "I see you." Allison's eyes widened. She glanced around the dimly lit train, taking in the faces of other passengers. A few people remained at this late hour. An old man, 2 rows ahead, fast asleep. A woman listening to music, lost in her own worlds. A teenage boy staring blankly at his laptop. Nothing out of the ordinary, but something felt wrong. She forced a nervous smile, trying to steady her hands. The train lights flickered for a moment, casting shifting shadows on the faces around her. When the light steadied, she noticed something unsettling. The old man's head had turned slightly, and his eyes were open, staring directly at her. Her phone buzzed again. "Do you know where you're going?" Allison's breath hitched. She typed quickly, "What do you want?" Another text message appeared almost instantly. "It's not about what I want, Allison. It's about what you've forgotten." A cold sweat broke out on her forehead. How did they know her name? She looked out the window again, the landscape blurring into darkness. But there, reflected in the glass, she saw it, her own reflection staring back at her, but with a twisted smile that she wasn't making. Allison turned sharply to face the empty seat next to her. The cushion seemed slightly indented, as if someone had just been sitting there. The train lights flickered once more, and for a split second she saw the shadow of a figure sitting beside her. A vague outline, its head turning ever so slightly toward her. The lights came back on, and the seat was empty again. Her phone buzzed once more, a final message lighting up the screen. "Don't get off the train." Allison's heartbeat thundered in her chest as the train pulled into the next station. The platform was deserted, cloaked in a thick fog that seemed to swirl and stretch like ghostly fingers reaching for the train. She couldn't stay on the train. She had to leave. Ignoring the warning, she bolted to her feet and made her way to the door. As she stepped out onto the platform, a chill ran down her spine. The fog seemed too close in around her, swallowing the light from the train. She heard the soft, almost imperceptible sound of footsteps behind her. Slow, deliberate. She turned back, expecting to see the train still there, but it was gone. The platform was empty, except for a single figure standing at the far end, barely visible through the fog. It was a woman. Her head tilted slightly to one side, a twisted smile etched across her pale face. Allison's phone buzzed again, her hand trembling as she raised it to her face. The screen read, "Welcome home, Allison. You never really left." The figure stepped closer, and Allison realized it wasn't just any woman. It was her own face staring back at her. The same twisted smile widened into something impossible, something that stretched beyond the limits of human expression. The fog thickened, and the last thing Allison heard was a whisper, an echo in the dark, calling her name over and over as if the depths of her own mind drove her crazy. And that was all, guys. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and I hope that you guys enjoy pretty much what I wrote for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.